Asche. Hello. Assalamu alaikum. And a very, very good morning to all the viewers. This is AKM Kamaluddin. This is my first video to the English speakers, to the viewers in English, to the English-speaking speakers. Today, this is an introduction. I will be trying to give more videos on different topics. So first of all, I must say, when I am going to launch a video, I am going to present a video, I have all the respect for all the perspectives in the world. Every perspectives we respect, we value. What I will be presenting to the viewers will be in the form of a submission. This is just throwing in ideas. Well, somehow I remember a teacher of my mother tongue in my graduation class. He said, please strike with X very hard. Please strike the brain with the X with all hardness. So that was one issue. So when I am going to launch any video, I am going to throw any ideas, I have all the respect for all the perspectives in the world, all the varying perspectives. These the perspectives may be contradictory. I respect and I honor all the perspectives of the world, the context perspectives, the ideas, the differing ideas, the contradictions. I respect, but I am here only to submit to you or throw before you some ideas. And first of all, I must say, it is not a formulation. I have no formulation because nobody in the world can have any formulation. The only one formulation that Einstein had is the theory of relativity, that is in the field of physics, though this also may apply to the social sciences, to the society as a whole. What I am going to say today is an initial video. Initially, I am going to address some of the points about the wellness of the citizens of the world. We would pray and we would like that every citizen of this planet, every individual, every human being of this planet are happy, are blessed, and have access to all the goodness of the world, of the goodness of the planet Earth. At the same time, we must also say that we would also like to create an environment in which the maximum number of species, when it is not unavoidable, we'd also nourish, we'd also flourish, we'll also encourage the environment to develop. As I am going to speak on the wellness of the people, this is going to be terminologically, it is going to be relating to world peace as a whole. But when we say world peace, maybe today I shall touch some of the points of Afghanistan, what is happening in Afghanistan, and also the latest situation consequent upon the declaration of the president of China to annex Taiwan with it, and vis-a-vis the US position, military and non-military position. I shall be speaking on that. I shall try to touch on these issues. But subsequently, I wish to give more videos. I used to launch more videos on this, on different topics. For today, I am going to talk on the wellness of the people as a whole. What we can do to bring all prosperity, to bring peace, to bring every kind of wellness to all the individuals of the world. Again, this is not a formulation. I have no ideas, I have not formulated anything, I have no axiom, no thumb rule. I just would like that everybody here is happy. Everybody has a right to be here in the planet Earth. Well, I am a citizen of Bangladesh. I am an inhabitant of this country. This country was liberated through struggle, and about this country I shall try to tell something in future. But today we are going to say about the world peace as a whole. When we talk of the world peace, we must talk about, I won't say we must, we may talk about the societies of the world. Now, what is a society? What is a world society? How do we perceive this? First of all, it is the proximate neighborhood. It is the nearest neighborhood of an individual. Then it is the neighborhood. Then it is the sub-community. Then it is the community. Then it is the society. Then, if you can term it, a society forms a nation state, or there may be a multiplicity of societies in a nation state. And after the nation state, this is the global arena. Well, about the community, in my mother tongue, in Bangla, the Bengali meaning of community is sampradaya. It has some negative connotation. So in that case, if you want to exclude this, you can tell it a semi-sub-society, a sub-society, a society, and then a nation state. Within a nation state, there may be societies or a single society, as we may see, may form a nation, a political nation, a sovereign nation, a nation state. So in the society, in the neighborhood, we shall try to analyze gradually what an individual should do, what rights the individual have, and how he is going to treat in the world. So this is one thing, but as I said initially, today I will address the issue of Afghanistan and China, and vis-a-vis USA, and there will be USSR, there will be other countries, UK, European Union, the NATO states, there will be Japan, and there will be Saudi Arabia, there will be other countries. We shall speak on those things later on gradually. But for today, because the video will be too long if I speak on these things, I intend to give more videos on different issues, on different subjects, like the rule of law in the world, rule of law in the nation states, within the nation states, open market economy, some basic economics, and opposed to the open market economy, some would call it capitalism, as opposed to a socialistic structure of society. So today, let us start with Afghanistan. What is happening in Afghanistan now? Afghanistan some people may look upon the Afghan government as the Taliban, as the champions of the ideals and the champions militarily. But exactly it is not the same thing. Because when USA intervened, you know about Afghanistan, this country has been a country, this is secluded from civilization, from human civilization, from culture world, because of its geography, because the geopolitical situation in this country have kept it secluded. But in the 20th century, in the second half of the 20th century, it was Russian communism. They tried to spread communism there by force. And this is their theory, that this was practiced by USSR, that it is possible to establish a socialistic order through coercive measure, but that failed. And USA came. When USA came, the US military was there. Now, US military was trying to combat the situation against the Taliban and having a government of their own choice. But what had happened when the Taliban were there is not the victory of the Taliban, it not due to their military leadership. It's not even due to their social leadership. It is simply because USA failed to understand the real situation there. The analysts in USA, they thought that they would be able to win militarily, by having a government friendly to them, a government whose ideals are similar to theirs. But that is not the case, because USA failed to understand, the analysts of the US military and non-military security analysis, they failed to understand that in Afghanistan, or maybe in Asian countries, I won't blame all the Asian countries, because Japan is there, China is there, Vietnam is there, Koreans are there. But I would say in Central Asia and in some parts of the world, mainly Asian part, the ethical value is so deplorable, is so bad, it is so low that you cannot trust them. So when USA was having big expenditure on military issues, on military expenditure, on the military ventures and non-military ventures, this money were being squandered because USA now knows that how their money, their people's money, their taxpayers' money have been squandered in Afghanistan. This is why they withdrew from there. But Afghan Taliban choose only one policy, a policy of wait and see, a policy of wait and see. That is what they did. And again, I would say, I would address another issue. Talibans are there. Talibans are apparently they are patient. And about the Talibans, I would say that there were some injustice done to them because of the world media. The world media did not actually project the Talibans as they are. But Talibans also have to remember that it is not through a Islamic revolution, because the propounder of Islam was Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When he died, he did not give any set of rules, any set of guidance to any people, to the people of the world. Because you know, after the death of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it was Caliph Abu Bakr who was chosen, because he was very acceptable, he was a very amiable person, he was acceptable to everybody. This is why there was no controversy. But Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not give any rules as to how to govern a state. What is an Islamic state? He did not say anything about that. But again, do not think that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not do it, did not say anything, it was unwilled. No, because if you look at the Charter of Medina, the Medina Charter, then you will understand how juristic, how pluralistic, how secular this man could be, and how knowledgeable this man could be. in the field of social science, in the field of jurisprudence, in the field of law. Because the Charter of Medina is an example of how a society can coexist, how a society can live peacefully with opposing ideas, with totally opposing ideals. So that was there. So when Prophet Muhammad did not say anything about Islam, about Islamic State, about the Islamic administration, so nobody can afterwards say that this is Islam, this is what Islam is. Because after the death of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Islam, there is no innovation. There cannot be any innovation of Islam. So that is there, that must be understood. And from that point of view, I would say the Taliban must honor what Prophet Muhammad said. And Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is the person, is the most misunderstood person in the whole world, in the history of mankind, because he was the most decent, he was the most polite person that mankind has ever seen. With all liberal ideas, with all the creativities of humanity that a person, a philosopher, that a social scientist can think of. He had all the liberties, he had all the liberalism, all the liberal ideas. But some of his followers are trying to propagate only the orthodox ideas. About Prophet Muhammad, I would say he is the latest, he is the most up-to-date of persons, because when his sons were dying, it was when he was in Mecca, his sons were dying, and his followers came to him. They said, the death of your sons, with the death of your sons, the non-believers, they said, the Quraysh and others, they are propagating that, what about Prophet Muhammad? He claims he is a friend of Allah. Then how he cannot save his own sons? When they approached Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Prophet said, it is so unfortunate, the death of my two sons. How shall I make them understand that I am only a prophet, I am a human being, and I have no power on life and death of any individual. He said so. And again, in the Bidai Hajj, the last pilgrimage, in his speech, what he said is speakable to all the mankinds, hitherto and in future, to posterity. So that was his ideas. So Afghans, Iranians, the Pakistanis, they should not understand, they should not misunderstand. And some of my Bangladeshi friends also should understand very well what Prophet Muhammad said and the way he lived, his preachings, his ideas there. And again, I am now going to talk about China. You know, China has become an economic power. According to the GDP, based on nominal GDP, though China ranks second, only second to USA, but in other form, in purchasing power parity, if the GDP is calculated on the basis of the purchasing power parity theory, then the GDP of China is much bigger than the GDP of USA. And this is what is happening in China. Everything that China is now having, China must owe to US, because US, you know, this is a basic economic theory that to be an economic power, any nation so far that has developed must have an access to US market. This is what it is. So they had the US market. But again, these are the two ideological issues. China's ideology. China is, after all, a socialist country. China is a communist country. Though in case of that, in case of a newly annexed state, they would follow two economies, two systems, but they are now following one system, and they want to annex it. And why they want to annex it? Because economic power of China has given it the impetus to be militarily powerful. Because so far, USA enjoyed the military supremacy in the world. But that is to be seen how far that is true. Because USA, of many aspects of the military domination of the USA, one is fleet, the aircraft carriers. USA has 7 aircraft carriers in the world and are the most modern, most sophisticated, and militarily most capable aircraft carriers in the world. Whereas China, of late, has acquired only 2 or 3 aircraft carriers. But again, China has somehow been able to be, I won't say it is audacious, I would say it is, they went as a part of their strategy, they said that they will annex Taiwan. Now it is to be seen militarily, because China is also not the old China of Mao Zedong, of Marxist-Leninist, because the Marxism-Leninism has failed already in the greater world led by USSR. Soviet Union has failed. So with that, the failure of the Marxist-Leninist ideas have also are there. So we shall have to see what is happening there. For now, I would conclude my video. We'll have to see what are the next moves made by USA, China, and also we would say India. India is also a power, a evolving superpower. It has not yet become a superpower, but it is a regional superpower. It has to be seen. So for now, let us say goodbye and good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for listening and for viewing my